In this video, we're going to learn how to make a little particle system that looks like this, and we're going to learn how we can also make them working together so we can have different effects. And we're going to also learn how to call those particles through the code. This video is part of an upcoming update of my Udemy course. The link is in the description. It is discounted at the moment, and if you consider buying it, you will learn a lot of things, and also you will support my channel and help me to make videos like this. So give it a look and let's see how we can make particles right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new scene, and here on the plus icon I'm going to look for particles. So you can see that we have two types of particles for the 2D aspect. The red one is for the 3D. So for the 2D aspect we have CPU particle and Particles2D. One is centered on being used by the GPU, and the other one is made to be used by the CPU. Me, I'm a Mac user, and because I am a Mac user, it's recommended for me to use the CPU Particles2D specifically for performance issues. But you can use both, it will work. But if you are on Mac, it will be a bit better to use the CPU particles. So that's the one I'm going to use today. But I'm also going to show you how to set up some stuff in the Particles2D. The main difference between those two is that CPU particle is basically made to be working with OpenGL2, and this one is made to be working with OpenGL3. The difference in between, so OpenGL is a library that handles everything that is 3D, and so basically the main difference is that OpenGL3 will not work on older device, where OpenGL2 will work on any device but will be having maybe less features than the OpenGL3 particles. That's basically that. So I'm going to use CPU particles here. And so when you have the particles, so I'm going to double click on it, and you can see that here I have the little particle that are like emitting. On the right, you can see that I have like amount. So if I put 2, I have like 2 particles that appears. I can put 30 of them, and I will have 30 of them that will appear. So for now, I'm going to put 8. I'm going to go here in drawing, and here you have a slot that is named texture, and I'm going to just take one of my texture that I have here. It's just like a basic round in pixel, and now it's going to look like this. Okay. So one of the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come here in gravity, and I'm going to here on the y-axis, I'm going to put something like -20. And so now you can see that the particles are emitting on the top. You can put 0 if you want, and so it will stay completely still. You can put so -20 as I did, and you can put, for example, 20 on the x-axis, and it will make it move like this. It's up to you. You can also change that through code, but we're not going to do that specifically in that video. So now that I have done that, I can change a lot more things. So one of the things I'm going to change is here, initial velocity. I'm going to put it to 1. And I'm going to put a velocity random, and I'm going to put it at 0.5. Then after that, I am going to go into scale. And here I have scale amount, so 1. I'm going to leave it like this. And I'm going to put maybe 0.4, or no, maybe 0.8, something like that. And I'm going to put that like this. And I'm going to, actually, no, I'm going to do it 0.5, and I'm going to put a curve. So I'm going to go here. So I'm just going to re-show you because I've been a bit quick. So here you have scale amount curve. You click on empty, new curve, and then now you click again here, and you have that sort of like little graphic area that appears. You can see here right click to add point. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm adding a point at the beginning, and you can see here that it's smaller than it was before. I'm going to add another one at the end. I'm clicking at point, and I'm gonna add one in the middle. And now I can bump up the one in the middle, and you can see that it changed the size, and I can make it I can really vary the size by moving those things, that curves, which is a very, very handy tool. For now, I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna go now into colors. And instead of changing the color directly here, I'm going to go here on color ramp. I'm going to click on empty, new gradient. I'm going to click on gradient again. And now here I can choose color that I want to pick. So I'm going to go for like something like reddish, like this. And I'm going to go for the white one. I'm going to go for like a dark red. something like that. For now, you can also add another one by just clicking anywhere you want in the middle. So you can also like add, for example, maybe like an orangish one, something like this. So that is fine too. So I'm gonna keep it like this for now, that's fine. You can also change the hue variation. So here, for example, if I tapped 1 and then I can like change, I can put a variation randoms. If I put it at 0.5, for example, you can see that now it changed completely the hue of the particles. I don't want that, so I'm gonna leave it like this and leave it like this. It's fine, but you can also apply a variation curve if you want to. Animation is for other things, but this is like it's not interesting to see right now. This is an introduction to the particle system. So basically for now it is good. I can go back to the top, and here on times I can change the lifetime of my particle. So right now it have a lifetime of 1 second, but I can put, for example, 5 seconds. And you can see that my particles stay for like 5 seconds. So that's one thing you can do. So me, I'm gonna just put it to maybe 2, could be cool. Or maybe not, like 1.5, let's see. Yeah, this looks a bit better already. So now I can change the speed scale. So I can put it to 1.5 and it will accelerate. Or I can reduce it, like for example 0.5. That's fine too. 1 is okay. Explosiveness, I'm gonna put it at 1.6. It will explode like this. Like if you put it a bit smaller, as you can see, like it goes quicker. So if you put it a bit more, it's gonna just wait. Here I've put it at 0.8, so it's gonna wait for 0.8 seconds before to restart again. So this is good when you're like making like some sort of like blood flash or something like that, blood particles or whatever. This is good for that. Maybe I'm gonna leave it at 0 actually. I'm gonna leave it like that. Randomness, I'm gonna put it at 0.4. So it will create a sort of random pattern here. Lifetime randomness, I'm gonna put it to 0.6. So just it gives some variation, voila, like this. And the fixed FPS, I am at 60 FPS by default, so I'm gonna use 60 FPS. Okay, so this is good. So now you have another things that you can do. This is one shot. So basically when you do that, you can emit only one time. So I emit something like this, you can see. And this is something that is very useful because we can trigger through code the fact that we are emitting or not those particles at a specific occasions. So we're gonna, for now, I'm gonna just toggle that off and I'm gonna leave it on emitting because I need to see what I'm doing and the result it has. But that's something that we're gonna use later on. So if you have a problems, maybe it's because you forgot to put it on one shot when you want to call it through codes. So now emission shapes. So emission shapes, that's where things get different with the GPU particles. I will show you later on the GPU particles because like basically one of the things that is very interesting with the CPU particles, but with the particles on average, is that you can nest them. So here, for example, I can create another one and I can click Particles2D and I can nest it here. And I'm just gonna not emit it. And so I can nest this one to another one, and like that you can create a lot of different variation of particles. So that's a very, very useful thing to know. For now I'm going to delete it. And so let's see what it does. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more like this. And so now we are on point. Let's see what happens when we are on sphere. You can see that it's sort of like move like this a little bit. And that is something that I can't fully explain in details why it is like that. There is something about the fact that it's like change a bit the radius of the generation of the particles. That's what I know about it, but I can't fully explain why is it doing it like that. But like basically that's something that you need to understand if you want to make different things. Here, point, I have never used it, so I can't tell you, and directed point is the same. I'm always using on average sphere. That's the one that works the best for me. Here you can change the sphere radius. So for example, if I put 90, you can see that if I unzoom, like it creates a sort of a radius, a sphere radius, and the particles are emitted around that radius. So here, for example, I can put 2, and you can see that it emits in a bigger area than when we were before 1. And if I put 5, you can see that's something interesting that is going on. And this, for example, is an effect that can be very interesting if we are decreasing the lifetime. So for example, if I put .6, you see, like you can create like some particle effect like that. It can be very interesting. Let me put it on one shot. So this could be some, for example, an effect that I can use when I smash one of my enemies. So here I have one of my enemy. Hold on. Just right here, I have that enemy that is hidden in the ground. I'm just maybe like gonna change that. Yeah, this one. So here I have my little enemy, and he spits bombs at me. That's part of the that's one of the enemies that we are creating in the course, in my Udemy course. So, and basically what I can create is I can, every time I smash it with my sword, I can maybe like emit those particles. So maybe I can even like reduce it down a little bit, like 0.4. I can increase a bit the particles here. So I put it 0.4 on lifetime and 12 on the amount. And so now if I play, that could be good. That could be good. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. And then I'm just now going to show you how you can call that through code. So I'm going to call it blood particle, no, blood effects. It's not really blood, but like that's the name I have right now at the moment. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna put it into my prefab folder, into particles. I've already created some. And so now I'm gonna put it into my blob. So I'm gonna go back into my blob scene, and I'm gonna click on the chain icon. I'm gonna look for my blood effects. I'm gonna put it here. And so now here I'm making sure that I am on one shot and emitting is not tick, it's off. And so now what I can do is like, can go back into my blob script, and I can then use something. So where did I put that? So here, that code is the code that is handling the contact with the sword of my player. So here I'm saying like when the area that is in the group sword is hitting the area, the detector, the hitbox here, basically I'm taking back 1 point of life to my enemy. And so here what I can do now is like basically, because I have nested the particles into my enemy, I can call that into the code. And so the things like I need to do is just say $sign blood effects dot emitting equal true, and that's it, you know. So, and because it is on one shot, it's gonna emit only every time that it's gonna be be in contact with the sword. So let's see, let's save, let's go to the scene, to the main scene here, let's play, and let's see what's going on. So I'm gonna come here. It has emitted too fast. So I need to put a little bit more time here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it to 1. And I'm gonna save. And so now I'm gonna come here. Normally, if I check, yeah, it has been updated. So I go back into my world 1 scene. I relaunch the game. And if I go now to my player right here, yeah, see, it appears, but it's too small. So I'm gonna change the particle size. So what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna come back here. I can change the particle size right here, for example, or I can change it also to the other to the transform aspect here. So first I'm gonna try here. Let's see, something like that, and then I'm gonna, in the transform, I'm gonna just bump up a little bit the scale, 1.5 and 1.5. And so now I'm gonna just put it back to one shot, and emitting is off. I'm saving it. Going back to my scene. Let's see now how it looks like. Yeah, that's already a bit better, but it's not enough in terms of how to say, it's not explosive enough. Oh, it's because the explosiveness is like, okay, now it makes more sense. So, okay, so let's see that. Voila. Now it should be better. Let's see. Okay. If I put it at dot 8, dot 8, dot 2. Okay, maybe this one could be cool. The randomness dot 6. Let's see. This is just tweaking, like literally it is just tweaking things until you find something that you're like happy with. I'm gonna augment a bit the sphere radius just to see. It's a bit too much. Let's see this one. Okay, and then there's another one here. It's a direction spread. I can also change it. I can put it at 180 to the max. So let's see. Okay, could be cool. Randomness, what if I put it 1.3 for the randomness? That could be good. So I'm gonna, for now, leave it like this. I'm gonna go back again to my scene, and let's see now. Ah, it's already a bit better. Okay, so I'm dead, but at least I killed him too. Voila, up, that's it. So now it's dead. And so that's something that you can use everywhere. So now, because I've put it automatically on the prefab of my... Ah, fuck, I'm dead. God damn, I'm dying too much at my own game. So yeah, anyway, that's it. So that's how you can use the particle system in Godot. I'm gonna show you how you can set up a bit the GPU, the Particles2D as well, because there's a little bit of a difference. So you go in our Particles2D, you click on create. And so here you see you can have a little warning sign just right here. And so this is because you need to go here on the right to the right to process material. And material, you click on empty, then you click on new particle materials, and then you click on particle material again. And then here you have almost everything that is looking like the CPU particles that we have just used now. But also the main difference is that the texture is right here. And so here I can also drag my texture. And so you can see that now it appears. I can change obviously also like the gravity. I can put it at -10, for example. Just a little bit like this, or -30 maybe. Even -50 actually you can do. Something like that. And so now basically what I can do is like I can also, like I've already nested it into the particles that I have here, and so I can create different effects. So I'm just gonna show you quickly what we can do. So I can come here on time, I can put it a little bit longer. Then after that, for the explosiveness, I can put it at .5. Even .3 actually, that would be better, something like that. I can modify a bit the speed scale to .4, something like that. Maybe 1.2 actually, could be a bit better. Fixed FPS, still 60. Then there is one thing that is different. It's in emission shape, rather. So here you have different stuff. Here you have ring, for example. And so ringed, what it does is that it creates like, it's basically like what we have done before, like it creates spheres on which it like emit particles. But here you can choose different axes, very precise. So first you can like bump the ring radius. So I can say, for example, 200. And you can see that now it put that to 200 pixels. So like maybe 20 is enough. something like this, for example. The inner radius, I can also bump it up, for example, 50. And this will go a little bit under the bottom of the radius. I don't need to use this one specifically. Then you can also do a lot of different things like spread. I can put it also as well at 180, for example, and you can see that it puts the generation of the particles on a 180 pixel length. So that's something that you can do. Here we can change, for example, the z-axis. I can put 40 for the z-axis. I can also change the gravity right here for the x-axis. I can put, for example, 20 if I want to. It's not automatically necessary. I can put it at 5. 5 is enough. Even like it's already too much. So let's put at 2, for example, something like that. I can change the color as well. So I can create a color ramp, and then you can see that it's basically almost the same. The only thing here is color ramp. When you have click on empty, then on gradient texture, you need to click again on gradient here and new gradient, and you click on it, and then it appears. That's basically the main difference I've noticed. So like I'm still quite new to the particle system in Godot. So like surely will come with something that is better, but for now that's what I understood, and that's honestly what I need for my game. But you can make so much things with the particle system. That's very good things. So I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna change the scale. So where is it already? Scale is here. I'm gonna put the scale. I'm gonna leave the scale to 1. I'm gonna create a scale curve, new curve texture, click on the curve, and then here I can modify that. I can create a point still by right clicking. I can do something like this maybe, and here you can really like sort of like tweak everything you do. That's something that is very interesting. So I'm gonna put that at 2, something like this, and I'm gonna bump up the amount. I'm gonna put it at 40, for example. Okay, so that's good. And so now let's put on one shot. And here I have the blood effects. So I'm gonna take that off. I'm gonna put it on. And air particle, I'm gonna tick off one shot, put it on too. Okay, so here, for example, you can sort of create the beginning of a fire texture, for example. That's what I was looking to show you, like, or a chimney things, for example. That's one of the things you can do by doing that. And you can do that by nesting different particle systems together. You're not forced to use only the CPU particle or the GPU particle. You can mix both. What is to your liking, but yeah, that's something that is very interesting. And so now if I want to call this into the code, what I can do, so I'm just putting everything back to one shot like this. I'm saving it, and now I come back to my blob and I can say blood effects. So because this is a prefab, it's already updated, and so in the script I can go here and I can also say $ blood fx Particles2D this time, because I haven't renamed it. Like I could rename it, and if I was renaming it I need to use that name, but basically here what I can say is, like, I can say dot emitting equal true, and because it's on one shot it will emit only also one time. So now let's go back to world 1, click on it, and if I slash my enemy, what's going on? You can see it was a bit messy, but like you get the idea. That's how you can use particles into Godot. So I hope this has been helpful for you. So if it's the case, don't hesitate to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Go check my Udemy course because it is discounted. The link is in the description of this video, and you will learn a lot of stuff by buying my Udemy course, and also you will help me to continue to make videos like this. And me, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.